Oops, I hit it one.
What's up?
What up, YouTubers? Tuesday night, 9:30. Y'all know what time it is. The LMK Show, episode 30. Wow, like 30? I'm really on 30? I thought this might go like 10 episodes. We got Charlie over there tonight. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm good. How's it going, everybody? How you
Going
doing?
pretty good. We've had some early birds here. Like I got comment from like the fourth person down saying a half hour to go, and that makes me freaking happy. Heck yeah, we got people waiting on you.
Awesome.
What's up, Morbids? I'm going to do shout outs now. I usually wait, but there's like hundreds, like, I don't know, not hundreds, but a lot of people in here now. So we're going to go through and shout people out now. Morbids, what up, dude? Row 5.0. Thanks for coming in, brother. Miss Morbid, you as well. How are you doing? Brother Stan, what's up, Stan the man? Always count on Stan being here. Hi, Mitzi. Hope you're having a good night. Cole, what's up, Cole? Large Marge. I just love that name, Large Marge. I mean, I'm a Pee Wee Herman fan, and just like right from the get-go, Paul stood out to me. Like, just Large Marge, come on, that's perfect. and then I met him, and he's a cool dude. So, like, you know.
I don't know about that. He's not that cool, but.
Bosa, what's up, brother Bosa? How's it going? Brotherhood Exotics, Mark, what is up, dude? Thanks for coming in. Dragos, my boy Dragos, how's this going? Dragos is actually getting a male and a female out of my pod clutch. So, of course, I'm going to shout him out. We got a deal going. Sounds like it's going to go through. And there's me saying hi to everyone. True Balls, how's it going, dude? Thanks for coming in. For a fellow RWOer, Justin for Pressure Pythons, and Alexandra, I think that's your woman's name. I mean, I might be mucking it up. If I am, I'm sorry. Sponsors are here. What's up, Green Line Morse Jay? This dude here, he's just a great sponsor. I mean, I can't say nothing else. Like, good dude, good sponsor. I'm glad that I met him through this process. What up, Will? How's it going? All right, well, we'll pause there for a second because he says, question for Charlie. When testing for cryptic, does the cryptic test tell you if it's pure cryptic or krypton or just het cryptic? Or do you need a full panel to determine?
So if you're just testing for cryptic, you will see that it is het cryptic, but you also have to look at the clown allele to see if it's het clown as well. But you could do that all in like one and a half type tests. So eventually I'm going to put it up there so that if you pick to test for cryptic, but you also needed to test for clown, that it'll only add like $20 or something like that to it. But yeah, so the one test I could look at, I have to look at a couple different locations, but if you're just telling me, hey, test it for cryptic because I have a krypton bred to a normal and I want to know if it's het cryptic or het clown, then I run the test. I look at one of them, and you know I can tell which one it is, because if it's not het clown, then it's got to be het cryptic. But if you say I want to know if this is a cryptic or a krypton, then yeah, I could test for that, and it's one single test, but it's just one little extra step.
Nice. That was a good question. So I paused and I wanted to know the answer to that one myself. Rudy, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming in. Mike from MNK, what is up?
So Mike,
thanks for coming in. 666, my buddy Nick, what up, dude? RWO for live. Tammy, thanks for coming in. Celtic Reptiles, How's it going? Thanks for coming in. The Snake Bar. What's up? I like the enthusiasm.
I like that logo.
Yeah, that does look pretty neat.
It's like the neon bar signs.
Yeah, it does look like neon lights. Hi, Darlene. How you doing? Jeremy Warfel. What up, dude?
Jeremy.
Beamer. What's up, dude? Let me see. I think we're just about caught up. All right, Justin from My Animal House, and now we are caught up. Thanks for coming in, bro. So I'm not familiar, or I don't know if you're familiar with how I run things, but we usually start out with Morph Market news. I look through the news and I report things, but Morph Market's been slacking on the news the last 3 months. There's nothing there. The last thing they got is about their sales feature, and I've said this for the last 3 weeks. Is that how it is? But so what I do then is I go to the community and I look and I see what's in and around in the community and start to talk about that a little bit before we get into questions. But these auctions,
yeah,
like wow, they're popping off, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to just pick your brain on this and see your aspect. Is do you think this is going to be the new way of selling animals?
I think it's awesome, but you just need the viewers, you need the people there, you need all, when you saw the one that, I don't know if you saw on Saturday night, the one for Sal Gomez.
Wow.
It was 200 something people in there. So pretty much everything went, there was a couple that didn't, but
thanks for coming in, Bud File.
Everything sold. And there was a lot of bidding going on, and, it was great. It was fun. Something like that. If you have little ones here and there and you're getting 10, 20 people watching, then
what's up, Dave?
Those are tough, but, or if you have a night, maybe like do it like, hey, tonight we're having just people on that are selling, clowns.
Right.
Or just people doing Desert Ghost, or just people doing Tri-Stripe, or something that is like a project that you could draw those people in. So if you draw in 20 people and somebody brings up something, a double het male or something, and you're not in that project, then, Snake might not go.
Right.
I watch a lot of them because I think they're cool. I like it.
Right.
I mean, even like I was on Sal's, I was bidding on stuff. I got outbid.
I was too.
And then I got a leopard gecko. I did not go in there thinking I was going to get a lizard. I was like, all right, I'll bid on some of these snakes that I might be able to get a decent deal on. And then the gecko came up and I got it. And I was like, oh no, now I got to figure out how to take it.
Right. Now I got to do this.
But it's awesome. I got it in the mail today. Tucson's finest Leo's. He's an awesome dude. And, he's been helping me out, messaging me everything, and got them all set up. My son loves them, and
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a very expensive leopard gecko that I have no idea why it's expensive, but I'm trying to learn.
Right. I mean, it's just like ball python morphs, but I think Warple started something cool.
I watched his. That was good. Like he had a decent amount of people there, and stuff was selling, it seemed like. He
advertised the company, like Triforce Morphs, they're going to. And now I see Holdback Rack. I know they have one with BNS and a couple other people up there, like advertising companies. I think that's going to draw a little bit more interest too.
Yeah. That's
and just saying, hey, snake auction.
Right. This is who's going to be there. Check out their stuff on Morph Market now, so if it's worth it for you to go. But yeah, either they have to be very specific, or you have to promote the hell out of it.
Exactly.
And get as many people in it as possible. Because, who wants to go up there with a snake that, I have a female pastel double het candy clown hatchling that to me is worth a lot because I'm in that project.
Right.
to most people, it ain't worth
to
nothing.
someone else that don't have them snakes.
Right. It doesn't, I put that up. Everybody's going to be like, the hell am I going to do this? When I get $50, all right, now I got to pay shipping, So you got to get people that want what's going to be presented.
Yeah. And of course, everything's flooded. So the price is dropping down. And then, the people that got in before me, they paid a pretty penny. The COVID, we'll say the COVID people, that's the term everyone likes to use.
Yep.
They paid, probably not top dollar, but a little bit higher than the animals normally go. Mm-hmm. And then they're trying to mark the hatchlings as that, and they're going to be sitting on these animals. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but you got to look at market like for clown. There's what, 5,000-6,000 between clown and het clown on the Morph market alone.
Yeah, that's initially why I didn't buy into clown when I first got back into ball pythons a couple of years ago. I'm like, everybody's got clown, I don't want it.
Right.
But you see what it does, and then obviously you fall into it. Now I have a ton of it, but there's still so. But that's the cool thing about this is there's still so much to do with clown, and there's a million of So it's
there's a certain way you have to work clown to make clown interesting now. Right. If you're just making pastel clowns or lesser inchy leopard, like just these normal clowns, if you don't have pretty cool combos and you're not trying to sell that thing for pet prices, mm-hmm. you're just not gonna sell them. What's up, Wiz? Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, like even just the hatchlings and other snakes I've sold over the last month or two, I try to go right down to almost as low as I could go right off the bat.
Right, yeah.
Because honestly, you see stuff up there with such huge price differences for the same snakes, and I get some look better than others, but if I see
what up, Gage?
Let's just say a Batman, for instance. Somebody's selling a Batman for $500, and somebody's selling one that looks exactly the same Batman for same sex, same age for $1,000. It's like, well,
no brainer.
Yeah, if I want to buy from you, I'll say, hey, but do you want to offend somebody too? That's the thing. I always say there has to be some sort of make an offer button on Morph Market, like an anonymous offer.
Right.
All right, you're selling this snake for $5,000. Do you really want to sit on it? I'll give you $3,500 for it right now.
Right.
But then you don't want to be that guy that everybody talks about. That's like, oh, Charlie's fucking lowballing me on this and that, So if there's a way to do it anonymously, that would be cool. But I'm not afraid to do that anymore because I know just from some experience that I've had that people list things and they'll sell it to you for way cheaper,
right?
Without anybody knowing that they're selling it for that price.
I think a lot of these $3,000-$4,000 animals on Morph Market, if you said, hey, I got 1,000 cash right now, I'll even pay for shipping. I think a lot of these people would come off it and jump on it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, my opinion, because they've been sitting on them for a while, and they got to that one that they want $3,500 or $4,500 for. They got 100 sitting right behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
You need to start doing something to move them.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Smay?
Unless you're willing
to buddy?
Unless you're willing.
Yeah, unless you're willing to sit on them for a while and feed them. I mean, if you're breeding your own rats, it's not too bad.
I have a whole rat building right next to my snake room here, and I breed rats, ASFs, and mice. And I have no problem holding on snakes, but I don't have the time to clean the tubs just to feed an extra snake. Not even the money; it's just the time. So I've been selling off a lot of my mid to lower level snakes recently, and just buying higher end snakes and just keeping it a lot smaller than I expected, my collection, just because of the time. I don't have the time to take care of them properly.
Right. Victory Lane, how's it going? Yeah, I kind of, when I got into this, I wanted to do this project and do this project and do this project. And, I got around 25 snakes, and I'm like, well, man, if I do this, this, and this, think of the holdbacks that I'm going to have to keep back.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like building all these racks, because I build my own racks, and it's just like, then I'm thinking for space. And, as I'm sure if I sell animals, when I start selling animals, I'm going to buy some more racks and stuff. But, that'll come. I ain't really worried about it. But I narrowed down my projects, and I'm still working 5 double recessives, and they're still like, think about the whole backs on 5 double recessive projects. That's a lot in itself. Well, I got rid of 3. So,
yeah, I mean, and then like I've come to the conclusion that like you hear it all the time, and I've seen it in the beginning. It's like, don't buy 5 snakes, buy 1 snake for that price. And I was like, yeah, all right, that's cool, but I could always sell. But you can't always sell everything. Now you have to think about, what am I really going to make out of this?
Yep.
Like, not what am I going to sell the top 2 out of this clutch for, but what am I going to do with the other 5?
Yeah. What are you going to do with the ones you miss?
Right. Do you want them just sitting around? Or do you wholesale them? It's fine, but there's enough snakes. We don't need to be producing pastel het clowns, or
right,
yellow belly het clowns, or they're. So now I'm just trying to buy things that, even selling my clutches that I have this year, I'm not holding much back. I'm just selling everything and just trying to jump.
I said hello to you, Mitzi, right in the beginning. Yes. You missed it.
I'm just trying to jump ahead now. Just like, instead of playing a long game and just making everything myself, if it's there and I could buy it and not wait, I'm just going to buy it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to.
Wholesales are even getting flooded, I bet.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Orlando Magic Nation, how's it going, dude? I don't even want to talk about football, Orlando, so we could just forget about that whole subject right now. My Steelers look like shit this weekend.
At least you're not a Jet fan like me.
Well, I mean, Jens won.
Right. They won, but I don't know at what cost, but we'll see.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is out for a year. Is he even going to make it back after that? I mean,
probably not.
I don't think.
I mean, unless these guys have huge egos, so maybe they don't want to go out like that. We'll see.
Yeah, well, yeah, he does have a pretty big ego. He might come back and try a year. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, can he really coach Zach Wilson up?
No, I don't think anybody can.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit that Zach Wilson's there. I think he's got more than what he's showing, but this is a reptile show, not a football show. So I don't want to chase anyone off. Last time we started doing football talk on a reptile show, I went down to like 2 people. All right. So another thing that I kind of wanted to touch base on is, like, I deem these animals sucks, dude. Like, I have hidden genes that I didn't think that was there. You know what I mean? Like, these snakes aren't looking at all what I've researched for the last 6 months. And I'm just like mind blown. I mean, now I hit some pretty cool stuff, but I'm just mind blown at actually what came out. And, like, what do you think is the cause of these animals having more genes and not being ID'd properly on Morph Market? What do you think the cause of that?
Too subtle changes. There's so many genes that are just very subtle changes until it hits that perfect match. So people are always people should undersell their snake. If they're not sure. Some people might not even know what they have. And just think of all the years and years and the clutches and clutches of breeding. There's probably, how many hidden hets are probably out there?
Yeah.
And nobody's ever proved out, or somebody who bought a 50% pos het something and they just never didn't need it for that. And you're using it for something else. And then those babies now all could be het, whatever.
Yeah.
There's just tons of that. And also you got to think of the guys that, like we were saying before, people's misses. So I think a lot of people that are in certain projects don't want to sell their misses properly labeled. They're going to leave some things out so that you don't go for that same project.
Well, then you got misses like that gorilla gene that, Cold Blood sold off on wholesale, and someone's got gorilla out there and don't know it.
Exactly. Yeah. it's such subtle changes. Like even just like stuff I hatch out, I'm like, holy cow, is this really just a pastel? You know, it looks crazy, but it is, you know, but it is. And yeah, it's true until they get a certain size. And then by that time they're sold.
Yeah, right. You don't even know, you know, you don't see it then because they're in someone else's rack because you sold it as this and it's really that.
And it might have been going to the wrong person then because that person might not be an experienced person and they don't know that, you know, they bought a cheaper snake because the seller didn't think it had X gene in it. And now they have it and they don't know what it is. They just think it's what they bought. And now they have a cool snake, you know.
So I think, you know, you're right with a lot of these genes being settled, you know, just settle markings and you can't see them till they get a little bigger. But I think a lot of it's because you got these COVID breeders coming in that they're trying to do it themselves, not using this platform to learn, you know, because there's a lot more sellers on Morph Market than there is on YouTube out here watching these videos, trying to learn from people, you know, and do a better job at it. They just want to buy snakes, breed snakes, and sell snakes. And, you know, I don't think it's working too well for them. And I think they're mucking it up a little bit.
Yeah, you're 100% right. There's definitely people that just are in this for the business and didn't care less about snakes prior to this. And they're just turning snakes over, you know. And also it's because of the polymorphism. Like these things, obviously.
Polymorphism is a bitch.
Obviously, these snakes are popular for a reason. Never mind because they're docile and they stay a decent size, but it's because of the amount of mutations. And the more they're bred, the more they're inbred, the more we get in, more and more things are popping up. And I can only imagine how many unidentified genes there are actually out there. I'm guessing a lot.
Yeah.
But
right.
I mean, now
I agree.
Eventually there'll be tests for almost everything. So
yeah, I think that would be super cool just to send a shed in and be like, get a report back of what it is.
Yep.
That would just be amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's getting there. It'll be there at some point, you know, just time and money. That's all it takes now. It's because we got to figure it out how to come up with these tests and how to figure out where the genes are. I mean, obviously, unless you get something stupid like Desert Ghost that throws you for a crazy loop, like RGI's, you know, they're doing awesome with it.
Right.
They weren't expecting it to be like that, you know.
Yeah.
So, you never know. You have no idea what's going to happen when you.
Who would have went full bore on Desert Ghost if they knew it was that way? That it's a polymorphic trait and might not show up in the percentages like everything else does. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't have been interested in it at all. I mean, now that I got it, who cares? I'm going to work it. I'm not going to sell it.
I don't think it really affected me at all. I don't have a lot of it, but I don't.
I'm going to dabble with it.
Yeah,
I like it enough to dabble.
Me too. I mean, I just bought a pastel, most likely fire, Desert Ghost clown male the other night. So I guess you could say I'm involved in it.
Nice. Yeah, you're involved. You got involved real quick with that one.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm still gonna treat it like a recessive gene, regular recessive, and
yeah,
you know, we'll see. But
all right, well, that's all I had for, you know, all that. I'm going to shout out my sponsors real quick because, like, I just picked up some sponsors out of nowhere.
Whoa,
and, I mean, like, pretty cool. Like, last week, 2 weeks ago, no sponsors, wasn't even thinking about it. Then Jay from Green Line Wars, we got into a conversation, and he became my first sponsor. And then right after that, me and Holly had a conversation, and Texoma Exotics became my second one. And, you know, Jay's got a website. This dude's got everything set up. Green Line Morse, he's ready to go. When this guy gets rolling, you're going to hear Green Line Morse's name. Like, he's got a lot coming and a lot planned. I'm not going to say none of it because it's not my place to say. But keep an eye out for him. And Texoma Exotics, what could I say about Holly? I mean, she's great. She does all my intro work. I mean, and it's just cool as hell. I mean, so if you have a podcast and you need some intro work done, hit Holly up and you know, just talk to her. She'll come up with something cool. And then my brother started a sauce business. So he shouts me out, anyone interested in steaks, and I shout him out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Fat Jack Sauces over on Facebook. I mean, these sauces are amazing. He's been cooking us amazing food for 20 years, 30 years, my whole life, basically. Korean barbecue, like spicy pickle, like, I don't know, all kinds of things. Go check it out on Facebook, Fat Jack Sauces. That's all I have for sponsors right now. We'll probably grow more. I'm working one out with Tony from your cigar den. Like he has Savannah Fest going on this weekend. And I'm working a promotion out with him to where I'm going to start shouting him out, putting his logo out there. And basically you get a 10% discount if you're ever in the State College area and, you're into stogies. So,
is that where you are?
Yeah, I'm right near State College, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Hey, Melinda.
What's up, Melinda? Thanks for coming in.
Holly started doing like my stuff for me, like on Instagram. So when I need
he's pretty good.
A video or art or something like that, definitely hit her up.
Yeah, Holly's pretty good. Totally happy with what she's doing, and my RWO Thursday show will have an intro soon. Probably not this Thursday, but by next Thursday, we will have an entrance. So keep an eye out for it. And a couple people up, 5 minutes ago was saying show them pods. That's getting saved for Thursday. So hold off 2 more days. My Thursday show, I'm going to show my clutches off. So they're in shed now. I want them to come out. Hopefully in 2 days they're out. I think they will be. Well, some shed, some didn't, but we'll see. All right, you ready for some questions?
Let's go.
All right, so how long have you been doing this, and how did you get into this? Like
ball pythons, I had my first one in the 90s. I was in high school and bought one at a local pet shop in Brooklyn where I grew up. And
what a brave venture.
I fell in love with them then. I remember taking it outside with me, going to hang out with friends with a snake. Thought it was cool. But then I got out of it when I went away to college. And I would say in 2008, I used to go to the White Plains show a lot. And that's when like albinos were coming out and piebalds and stuff. And I was like, wow, what the heck is this? So I bought 4 snakes that I was going to breed in 2008, 2009. And then right before I got married, my wife asked me to get rid of them because I had them in our kitchen in our 900 square foot apartment. And I was like, all right, yeah, you're right. This is kind of crazy.
I should.
So I got out. And then, probably about a little over 2 years ago, I built this building that I'm in on my property. Now I live outside of Albany in the suburbs, and I have like 2 acres, and I do CNC work on the side. So I like metal signs, like I made that metal sign, my logo,
right.
Laser engraving and woodwork and stuff like that. So I built this big workshop, and then I was like, man, now that I have this up here, I could probably keep some snakes out here because my wife doesn't want them in the house. So I built a little closet and started buying a couple.
Thanks for coming in, Casey.
I started buying a couple ball pythons, and then I was like, all right, I need more space. So I cut the big building into like a third and built a finished snake room. So now I have a completely finished room here that's just all my snakes. So I've been really hardcore into it for the last probably 2.5 years. But
I'd say so. Getting into shed testing and everything, like that's amazing, dude.
Yeah, that's just because I'm insane and I can't like.
At least you admit it.
Yeah, no, I can't like just see something that interests me and not know how it works. So that's how I got into the CNC stuff. Like I saw a CNC laser engraver and I was like, man, that's awesome. I'm like, how do you make that? So I started Googling it. And I built one, and then I built a bigger one. Then I started building CNC plasma and router and this and that. And it's just anytime I see something that interests me, I want to know how it works. And just like anything, it's like, how is this couch made? Like, what machine made this, and how do they bulk make things like that? Like, just
Right.
that's how my head works. And then I have to start digging. And then when I saw Dr. Hannah Seidel on Brian Rivera's show, Samson Sneakatorium, over, I don't know, maybe I don't know how long ago it was, a year and a half, 2 years.
About a year and a half ago.
I was like, man, that's awesome. I'm like, that's a cool thing. I'm like, there's obviously no way I could do this. I'm like, this is way out of my league. Like, I have no bio. I have a computer science degree. That's about it. I don't have any biology or anything like that. But
mad scientist.
So I was like, let me just look. So I started Googling it and seeing like how you extract DNA from something. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's not crazy. And then I was like, now what's next? I'm like, oh, this PCR thing. I'm like, okay. And then gel electrophoresis and Sanger sequence, and I just researched for months. And then I found the equipment that wasn't crazy expensive, kind of entry-level stuff. And I just did it. I was like, man, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I got to take a shot. And I bought all the equipment, and then, I don't know, months and months of messing around with the equipment, testing other guys' sheds that I knew and my own stuff, trying to figure it out. And it was definitely times where I was like, I can't do this. I just wasted all this money on this equipment, Oh. But then I was like, I got to figure this out. I couldn't stop. And so I'm not shy. So I literally would call companies up. Like, I was talking to scientists from different labs and everything and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And yeah, am I doing this right? Right. The people that I bought the equipment from, they helped me out. But yeah, eventually I got it. And even then I wasn't sure if I was going to like announce that I'm doing it for,
right. I really want to do that.
I'll do it for myself, group of guys I'm in contact with. Maybe I'll make my money back on what I spent on everything.
Right.
And they're like, dude, you got to do it. You got
to go full bore with this. You get far, you got to go with it.
And so I did, not thinking I would really get much business at all, because RGI came out with it, and I had figured it out by the time they announced they were doing it, and Morph Market and all that announced they were doing it. I had already been doing it before they ever announced it, before people knew that. And I was almost ready to say, like, I could do this, and they announced it. And that kind of gave me that push of like, all right. And I better
get in gear.
About 2 or 3 weeks later, I was able to master it and put it out there. And then, I was always just like, all right, I'm just going to be able to do what the publicly available tests are, like the ones that Dr. Seidel releases. And then I can take her scientific paper and then order the reagents I need and follow, the current steps I do, and just do that. But then everybody's asking me, you need to get clown, you need to get clown, you need to get clown, you need to get this, that. And I'm like, I'm trying. Like, I literally would spend hours on the phone with labs and just trying to get pricing on and figuring out exactly how to do this. And, I was pretty sure I knew how to do it, but it's just very expensive to do. And I was like, man, this is a crazy risk if I spend this much money and don't do it and don't get it. But luckily I reached out to a scientist that is doing it, and we kind of came up with a deal, and I paid him for clown and cryptic, and me and him now are going to be splitting costs for future tests. So
nice.
We already have a couple more that are already getting sequenced, and we'll be testing them probably pretty soon, like on our own, to make sure it works and everything. And then I'm collecting sheds for other stuff right now. So
right.
So yeah, it went from me being like, I'm just going to coast at this and, whatever, it's not a big deal, and to let's do it, screw it, I'm all in. And now I'm really busy and really tired.
So what social media platforms do you have, and how can people get a hold of you to order these shed tests?
So I'm on Instagram. I have a Facebook page. I don't use Facebook that much, but Instagram I'm on all the time. And then I have a website, shedtesting.com. So everything you get ordered on shedtesting.com. It's ran through Square, so you pay with credit card, debit card, PayPal, whatever you want. And then, ship you the sheds, and that's about it. Yeah. So, but yeah, a lot of people reach out to me first on Instagram, and then some people go right to the website and order, but I try to talk to everybody. Anybody who messaged me on Instagram, I try to. So there's not many customers that I have that I haven't had full-blown conversations with.
Right.
Probably 95 to 99% of the people that have placed an order with me have had some sort of conversation with me on Instagram.
Awesome.
It's
always
keeps you busy too. That keeps you busy. My phone hasn't stopped since I've been sitting here. It's
always nice to conversate with the people that you get things from.
Yeah.
I have really good relationships with 90% of the people that I bought snakes from, because they just happen to want to know, what their snake's doing. Like, hey, your snake laid this clutch this year. Yeah. They want to know all about it. And
yeah,
I'm glad I've really bought from some cool people, and
awesome.
I'm glad I made the decisions that I made.
Yeah. Now that, I have a lot of, friends in the industry now. In the beginning it's tough because you don't know a lot of people, but
yeah,
now I know so many people that if I need a snake, I know who I'm going to. There's guys that I'm going to first, and that's it.
What's up, Michaela?
Having the baby. Oh,
having the baby. Good luck. I hope everything's okay. I hope for short labor, but if you're saying that, it's probably going to be a long one. So what is a short-term goal, like 1 or 2 years with the reptiles?
For reptiles, there's a couple, I want to, for the next year is going to be, just really honing in and getting the 2 to 3 projects that I want to really work on. I have to make some stuff this year. I still have 3 clutches in there that a couple of them, are going to have the holdbacks that I need for the future, hopefully, obviously. And then I really want to just, I shipped out 3 adult snakes and 1 hatchling today. I'm selling I'm selling the snakes that I don't necessarily need. Like 2 snakes that I sold were my 2 favorite snakes, but
that Super Wookie acid. Oh man,
shipped out today, and then I shipped out the black pastel blackhead acid head albino today.
He's getting evicted. That's funny.
Kick him
You're
out.
evicting him already? He didn't even come out yet. Okay, so what is a long-term goal with the shed testing? Like, say 10 years, where do you want to be with this shed testing in 10 years?
10 years, I will hopefully be retired from my current job, because I have 10 years left until I can retire. So if this industry and everything stays the way it is and things keep going good for me, or just even decent, in 10 years, I'm hopefully that, like I said, it all depends on the industry. I have no idea. Right. 10 years, if it's still going, even just if it's like it is now, then I'm going to go full bore into everything.
Everything.
But because then I'll have the time. Right now, I work a full-time job, and I'm busy a lot at work. So, I can't focus 100% on shed testing right now. But I focus a lot of my time on it, and I'm up late every night, and my wife hates me, but
what's up, Slithery? How's it going?
But it's something that I think that for me, at least over the next year or so with the shed testing, my goal is to get more tests, which I know we'll have, but then also I'm big into like computers and into CNC. So automation is and programming. So I want to make it so I can streamline everything, and everything is super organized. Automatic alerts going out to people every step of the way. Because I do that, and I try to keep up and do that now,
Right.
and it's hard. It's hard. But you don't have to. Some places you send a shed in, and next thing you hear from them is your result, whenever that is. But I like to just try to keep people updated as much as I can. Like, hey, it should be a couple days, or I ran into some trouble with your shed. I got to try a different method to try to extract DNA. But if I could automate things a little better, and then even automating the process, they have machines out there that literally you don't have to touch a thing.
All right.
They're very expensive, but just efficiency and accuracy is the biggest thing. So that's my main goal, is to really focus on upgrading the lab.
So how long would you say it takes you to do one full test from, say, you start a test and you get the end result? How long does that take?
So if you gave me a pos het pied shed, say, and that's the only test I'm doing, and that's the only one that I'm going to do that night, is your single shed, it would take me probably 10 minutes to get the DNA, the shed set up, and the reagents for the extraction. Then it goes in an incubator for another 10 to 15 minutes that heats it up to help open the cells to extract the DNA. And then while that's going on, I'm putting together the rest of the reagents for the PCR, and then it goes into the PCR machine after I put the DNA into the PCR master mix for about 2 hours. And then after that, I take it out, I put it on a gel, and that's about a 15, 20-minute process. But from start to finish, from the second I start to the time I finish, it'll be probably 3 hours.
Right. Mike says 10 years from now, you're going to be putting genes in our snakes.
Sooner than that, Mike. Come on, have faith in me, buddy. Have some faith.
He's going to be cloning snakes in 10 years. Come on now.
Wait till you see the octo visual I come up with. Eight
recessive. Whoa.
8 recessive visual next year. I'm just going to inject them all. It could be
8
done.
recessive, 10 codom, like triple super, 4 allelic combos. Like
the science is already there and available to literally do that. It's called CRISPR, and you could do that right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you could do that.
Genetically enhanced snakes.
Yeah, it's risky because it has to be perfect. So there'd be a lot of testing prior to it. But it definitely, the science is there. The technology is there. It's just a matter of putting it into place. Is it ethical? That's another thing.
Takes the fun out of it.
100% it does. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I know everyone in here probably experienced it, but there was nothing like cutting these first 2 clutches. And now I'm just like giddy as fuck, waiting for the week of October 15th for my next clutch. And then I'm sitting there bitching at these other females, like, you need to lay, so I have another clutch to cut in about a month after these ones go. What the fuck are you doing?
No, I agree. I agree. I've cut a couple clutches already this year. I have 3 left in the incubator. One girl just pre-lay shed the other day, and I think I'm on day 40 something on the soonest one to hatch, and I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, hurry up.
Right?
I want to know. I want to see it.
I want to do it.
Yeah, it's just so cool, like seeing what you're gonna hit and everything like that. But
all right. So we get into some fun questions now. What is one snake that you would like to hit that you have in your collection now?
I want to hit a acid or confusion GHI, yellow belly, red stripe, black pastel clown. I have
That's not asking for much.
I have everything to make it with 2 snakes. That's why I sold those other acids, because I wound up buying 2 very expensive snakes that I could hit that.
That's pretty neat.
So we'll see. But
So
yeah,
what's
my goal is like a dark Kraken style clown with the acid confusion.
right?
Mix. That's what I really want to hit. That's what I'm focused most on right now.
Fingers crossed for you, Darlene. I hope it comes. So what is one animal you'd like to add to your collection?
A leopard gecko. I
You
did it.
did that.
I know. No. I had a green tree python years ago, a hatchling I bought from White Plains. Obviously a wild caught. It was a nightmare. The thing, like, it was the most vicious thing in the whole world. I would love to get a really nice captive bred, high-end designer green tree python.
Yeah, I mean, they're nice.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Yeah.
All right, so what is one superpower you wish you could have? I mean, the way your mind works, maybe snap your fingers and think of something and it's done.
So that could help. Time travel would be cool. You always have those dreams about flying, and they seem so realistic sometimes that it'd be cool
Right.
to fly. But time travel would be cool to see, like, relatives and ancestors before you, and like see how things were at different times. And
I'm
then
sure that would occupy your head enough.
find out what the new hot gene in ball pythons is going to be 10 years down the line and start buying them up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You definitely set yourself up pretty nice.
Yeah, right.
All right, so my daughter thought of this question, and I asked it for the first time last week. But what is one animal that you would like to bring back from extinction? This is a rough one.
Yeah, like to keep as a pet, or like
No, just to bring back and repopulate and see it around.
Oh man, velociraptors are pretty sweet.
You know, you're the second person to answer that with velociraptors. I
Really?
mean, I don't know why you want to bring back a killing machine. I mean, we would have to have guns on us at all times because the motherfuckers would come up running on you like to kill your ass.
I think they're the coolest dinosaur, though. Like,
I just want a dodo bird back. I mean,
yeah. What else? I'm trying to think of what else is like the woolly mammoth or something.
you know, they already have woolly mammoths back. Like, there's a section of Siberia, like Russia, that's gated off, you know, with big, huge ass barriers like you see on Jurassic Park. And there's woolly mammoths running around inside there.
Really?
They found that one that was, you know, where they got the fur and stuff off of it, like it was, you know, frozen for years in Siberia, and then it started melting a little bit. And they found, like, you know, a woolly mammoth fossil, and, you know, it still had meat and fur, and it allowed them to get the complete gene makeup of it. So, yeah, they got woolly mammoths already.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. So where's one place that you would like to spend a week with the family? Anywhere in the world?
Australia.
Australia would be pretty cool.
I want to go. My wife has no desire to go, so that's what I'm saying.
So if you could have dinner with 3 people who passed, who would they be?
My brother-in-law, maybe like Ben Franklin or somebody, or like Albert Einstein, like somebody who figured
Einstein would be cool.
Somebody who figured things out. Be like, dude, how the heck did you even think of this without the internet or textbooks or, you know,
Nostradamus would be another cool one.
Yeah, like I would say probably like Benjamin Franklin and like somebody older that innovated something that's like, where do you even start? You know, what gives you vision to even do something like that?
John Feely said, Jesus. He just wants to drink Jesus.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Just to be like, hey, is this legit? Like, is this what's going on? Like,
right. Just
like, is this
what are we doing here?
Is this whole Bible thing real? Like, is these stories real?
Right. All right. So you're stuck on a deserted island. What 5 people would you want with you there?
My wife, my son, my mom and dad, and Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls is a pretty popular answer to that question. Yeah. I mean, some kind of survivalist got to be there to teach us fools like how to do this.
Exactly.
All right. So if you hit the Powerball for 100 million, how far are you going to take the reptiles? You're going to blow it up. I already know.
I would literally pay like the smartest Harvard or whatever grad scientists in the world to come up with every single test and make it so that you could like, put a shed in a machine and then it spit out everything that it is, Yeah,
that would be so cool. That would just be awesome.
Yeah, I would do that.
What's up, Leviathan?
And I would probably just keep a very, very small collection of awesome snakes if I had that much money, because I'd be traveling so much.
Right.
I wouldn't be around enough. That I always think that, like, what would I do and how many dogs would I have? And what, it's like, yeah, but I'm gonna be all over the place if I have $100 million.
Yeah, right. You travel, you couldn't really have animals. I mean,
right. So
like dogs, anyways, because they need daily care.
Yeah, like I guess the reptiles, you just pay somebody to take care of them and everything like that. But I would definitely have like wherever I had my main house would definitely have some sort of. I don't even know if it would be a snake facility. I'd probably have it like a man cave with just awesome enclosures all over the place.
Right. Yeah, I would have some awesome enclosures. They wouldn't be in Iraq. I would just do all big.
Yeah.
They'd have room, and no one ever could complain and say, oh, they need this, oh, they need that. They would have everything they'd need. They only don't have it now because I don't got the money to give it to them.
Exactly.
All right, where are we at? Okay, this one's a fun question. Oh, shit. That $20,000 hatchling you just hatched out is on the loose. How far are you going to find it?
Yeah, I'm calling all friends that I know and family that I know, and they're coming over, and we're finding that thing.
Yeah. It's getting serious real quick.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
I mean, if I got to pull the roof off, this roof's coming off.
I've pulled walls down for a lot less than that, looking for a freaking escaped rat in the,
Wow. I got a rat running around right now. I ain't really too much worried about it.
I just don't want him to chew the wires or anything. That's why if anything ever drops, I can't walk away without getting that thing,
Oh, it got away from me. I mean, everything else I caught, but I don't want to, people are saying get traps and stuff like that. I don't want one of them sticky traps. I'm trying to find a good live trap to set up to where I could recapture it. I don't want to feed it to my snakes because it's been, wild too long. And it was kind of a pet. Maybe just say, all right, look, you made it. You got away. Now you're going to get a pretty decent life because, you're a survivor. So here's a big, nice enclosure. Here's some nice things.
In my rat shed, the ASFs, when I first got them, were chewing out of everything I put them in. And so I got one of those bucket traps that they could climb up and then they'll just drop in. And, when you do it for wild ones, you put water in it and they can't get out and they drown. But I just leave it empty in there because they can't climb out of it anyway. So that has been my savior, catching any escapees in the rat.
Really? I'm going to have to get one. Those are pretty cheap too. I've seen them.
You could just make one, or you could buy the top for like a Home Depot bucket kit. Like it's a kit that comes with the top and a little flap and a ladder. And it's like $10 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like $10. That's definitely what I'm going to do because I'd like to catch it, You know, for one, I don't want to chew it on anything, but for two, like I kind of want to just be like, you know, props, like pound. That's what you made it. You got through.
So this is it. You put this on top of a 5-gallon bucket,
Right.
and you bait it in the back here. And when they come back, this opens up and they drop down into the bucket and they can't get out.
They can't get out. All right.
You literally just, this kit here you could buy on Amazon for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 bucks or something. And you just pop it on any 5-gallon bucket.
That's what I'm going for then. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question is, I mean, you started this a long time ago, like, you know, your reptile keeping. I mean, what did you say when you was like 15 or something, you had one?
Yeah, I think it was like 1990. I think I was like a freshman in high school. So like 96, maybe soft 97. I've got my first ball python.
So what is something that like this hobby of yours brought you that you didn't really expect in the beginning?
Friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I lived there my whole life. I had a million friends. But when I got my current job, I had to move upstate New York, and you know, you dropped in somewhere where you don't know anybody first. And, you know, I have all my coworkers and everything, but none of them are interested in freaking snakes. You know, they like hearing my crazy snake stories and stuff and like think I'm nuts. And they love like, hey, what's new in the snake business? You know,
Right.
They love hearing me bullshit about it. But, you know, having people that you could talk to about things that you actually are interested in that don't think you're crazy. And guys,
I get that a lot.
Yeah, and guy like Sal Gomez, he was the first breeder that I talked to on the phone ever. Like
Right.
I was looking for like candy stuff, and I messaged him on Morph Market, and he just messaged me back like, here's my cell number, call me. And I called him, and I spent over an hour on the phone with him, and then we became good friends, and I went down to visit him, and a lot of snakes from him. We used to talk all the time. You know, and now it was a bunch of group of guys that I talk to on a daily basis that you never would have imagined, you know, guys all over the country, you know, that are now considered good friends, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to people all over the United States, some across seas and stuff too. Yeah, you definitely do meet people in this hobby.
Yeah, and from all over, from every different type of, you know, job or lifestyle or place in the country, and you know, it's cool. And then you all get together. Like I'm going to Tinley, the first time going to a big show. I'm going to Tinley in October, and like all these people like, oh yeah, can we meet up? You know, it's like, wow, it's going to be cool actually seeing you people,
see these people,
in person. Even though like I've seen you guys on YouTube, you've seen me on YouTube, we know what each other look like, we've talked, we've texted, we did it, but we've never actually physically been in front of each other. So it'll be kind of cool.
So, what is one piece of advice that you'd want to, like, people that don't like reptiles to know about this hobby?
One, they're not slimy.
Right.
That's any person that I bring in here that is like, there's no way I'm touching that thing. It's gross. And I get them to hold it. They're like, oh, this isn't bad. I'm like, yeah, what'd you think it was going to be? Like,
yeah, what do you think it was going to be?
Really?
Oh, slimy and gross?
Think you're going to have like ooze coming off of your hands after you let go of it? But,
I mean, they're domesticated. They're animals. They're pets. You know, that you think are my pets.
And even like that snakes and reptiles in general are needed for the environment. You know, like I'm in upstate New York, and really, like, you know, we have a lot of garter snakes, and like I see when people are like, oh, you don't kill them. I'm like, no. One, why? Two, they eat all the other pests that are around my yard.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's good to have one. You know, actually, I saw one the other day. It must have just freaking, I don't know, a garter snake's egg or live bears or egg layers. I don't know, but this thing must have been like this long and skinny like an earthworm.
Yeah, they're small.
I thought it was a worm at first, and I was like, "That's way too fast for a worm." And I went down, and I saw the stripe on its back. I was like, "That's a garter snake." And I tried to catch it, but it went underneath the basketball hoop.
Yeah, we got them around here, and I tried to catch one that was probably about 4 inches, 5 inches long, and real skinny. And that thing just it was lightning fast. Like,
what the heck do they eat? You know, that's
bugs.
What is it?
Bugs.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like I even tell people like people will send me videos like TikToks and stuff of like a snake scaring the hell out of somebody or something. I'm like, dude, listen, I have a lot of snakes. I love them, but I still will jump when a garter snake flies by my foot and I'm
like they startle me still.
Yeah, it's still gonna startle me, and then I realize, oh, it's a garter snake, and that's it.
Like, and I'm calm.
Anything's gonna startle you. Like, yeah. You know, like that snake falling through the ceiling. If a snake fell through my ceiling right now, you're gonna see me jump like a little bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so they're not as scary. Oh, and then like my son, I have a 3-year-old. He'll be 3 years old next week, and my mom was coming into the snake room for like the first time with my son, and she's like, "Oh, Landon, you like the snakes? Oh." I'm like, "Mom, shut up." I'm like,
yeah, right.
That's why the kids don't. That's why people don't like them, is because they're told not to like them.
Exactly.
My son has no idea of any of that, and he loves them. He will hold the biggest snake that I have in here any day of the week. You know, he loves them. He's not afraid of any of them. But if you start telling your kids like, "Oh, get away from that. Oh, that's nasty," then that's what they're gonna think.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So, like, you know, it's the way you're raised with them. And like my dad, he wasn't like that. We lived like in a very like ocean part of Brooklyn. Like we were on a peninsula and there was like beach and stuff. And he used to catch these water snakes for me, and we'd bring them home. And, you know, so I guess it's all like what you're exposed to, you know. And back when like you could get an iguana in a store, like I had an iguana and bearded dragons, and just because my parents let me and didn't, you know, weren't like, "No, that's gross," you know.
Hey, Holly. But yeah, my parents didn't like snakes. Still don't like snakes. My mom really won't even come to my house because of the snake. But I mean, I just give it a chance.
Like my wife isn't a fan of them. Like I don't think she still has actually even touched one of these snakes, but she could come in the snake room, sit down. I could hold them in front of her. I could bring one in the house, and she likes and is like, she's interested and appreciates the morphs and the genetics and the science behind all of it. So she's not like, "Oh, that's gross, get it away from me," but she just doesn't care, and that's fine. Like, you know,
right.
But you know, and she could talk to my son about it, read him books about snakes and stuff, and you know, that's
right. All right. Well, you know, I'd like to keep the things right around an hour, so you know, maybe a year from now you'd come back. We always like to end the show on a couple quickie questions, and then you can get your shout out or do whatever you want. You know, tell people how to get a hold of you. But Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Me too. BK or McDonald's?
I have to say Burger King.
All right. So if you're at like a family wedding, are you dancing, not dancing, or like slow dance only?
Not 100% not dancing. Possible slow dance.
See, I'm an idiot. I'm jumping around everywhere. I can't dance for shit, but I'm still just jumping around being an idiot. Skydiving or no way?
I think I'd have to do it. You know, it's scary, but yeah, I think I would do it.
Right. All right. So what is one all-time game show that you would like to have been a contestant on?
Oh my God. What was that Nickelodeon one when I was a kid growing up?
Double Dare.
Double Dare. That's it.
Yes. I would love to go back as a 12-year-old kid and be on that show.
100%. Run through that wheel and yeah.
I'd have tore that thing up.
Double Dare all day.
Yeah. Love it. All right, Charlie. that's almost about the end of our show. You take this moment to just talk to the audience, tell them where to get a hold of you, tell them, anything that you want to tell them right now.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. And you get a hold of me on Instagram if you have any questions about, obviously the shed testing. And I respond to everybody. I talk to everybody. If you want to call me, whatever. But Instagram, Gray Rider Reptiles. Facebook, I don't check that too often, but and then www.shedtesting.com
shedtesting.com
takes you right to the website where you can order tests. And if you're ever doing bulk orders, I work with everybody, so message me, and I try to take care of it as much as I can and make sure it's available and affordable for everyone. So just reach out to me if you're thinking about testing something or really want to get something tested, but we're on the fence about it. Just reach out to me. We'll figure something out.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
All right, everybody out there in the audience, till next week, we'll be back. Same channel, same time. See you later, guys.
Take care.